on the way right now to the, I guess it's not really a doctor's office, it's more like a med spa situation, for day 2 of Emsculpt, or like week 2 of Emsculpt. So people were asking how many sessions. I think that a pack is just 4 sessions. That's what I'm doing, but we are going to do like a little Q&A with Dr. Ashley Gordon, who's incredible. She did my lift for the girls as well, and I'm doing it at her office. So she has been kind enough to say that she would answer some questions for you guys, which is amazing because she's obviously extremely knowledgeable, and I'm not the one to answer these questions, but she is. So we're gonna get all of our answers about Emsculpt. You guys asked a lot of questions on Instagram, so we're gonna pull from those, and then I'm basically just gonna be like documenting the journey in general. So far, we had week 1, which I'm gonna be real. First of all, I'm so excited about the results because I've heard really good things. I have a couple of close personal friends. There's bird shit on the window, I just noticed, who have done it, who like really, really love it. It says it's like made them strong and they felt like lean and all this stuff, which is cool. I'm also working with a nutritionist to try to eat really clean and kind of get back on track with my eating habits, which I'm excited about, but I feel right now so drained, which is why I probably look like tired and off, because I am like cutting out just to kind of see, you know, what's affecting the bloat and all that, most dairy, and like really cutting back on carbs and stuff, and my body is just like, what are you doing? And you know how that goes, because I feel like you're on your own health journey too.
Struggle.
It's such a struggle.
It's always, it's frustrating because you like cut out dairy because it's like low-key, no, I have a problem with it. So you like cut it out and you're like, oh great, like I feel so much better, and then you're like, but I really fucking love cheese, so let me like
eat a little,
slide it back in, and then like,
but I eat so
my stomach or something, and I'm like, I know that it's gonna do this, like why am I doing this to myself?
To myself, because it's worth it, because it's good.
So good.
But I eat so much dairy that my body's not used to not having dairy and carbs, and so like processed carbs and all that, and so my body's like coming down from all of it right now, I feel like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's done that for me before. I feel like this is gonna fall, but it's staying there, and I'm on my period. I feel like it has done that for me before when I did like Whole30 years ago. Back in the day, it like your body has to acclimate to you like taking everything away basically. So I'm very kind of like tired, and I don't have a ton of energy right now, but I'm excited. Eating clean, I know, will give me a lot of energy, but this is part of the journey. It's kind of like when you stop wearing shitty deodorant and you just like have to smell bad for a week, you know?
Yeah.
It's like that. But so okay, what I was gonna say was, I'm gonna be real with you guys, it like kind of low-key hurts. I wasn't expecting it to feel that way. They say if you have any separating in the abs, I forget the technical term for it, from having a kid, that the abs part hurts more like than if you don't have a kid, obviously, because it's like pulling the muscles back together. We'll get Dr. Gordon to explain it to us, because I know she'll do a way better job of explaining that than I will, but it just kind of feels like you're getting shocked, and it's not the most fun feeling, but you know, if the results are good,
journey. Yeah,
it's a journey, and if the results are good. So we were saying the other day, I think, like, and you and I are on the same page about this, I feel like we've been like walking a lot, like I've been working out for months, like really consistently, and with the trainer and all this, and then you try to like eat well, and so when you don't see results, I feel like when you're really trying in other areas are times where I personally am like, okay, well, like let me look into Emsculpt to see how that can be helpful, and all that, because I do feel like I'm trying on my own like so much, and I just wasn't getting the results. But like I said, I am now working with a nutritionist to try to get my eating on track, and I will say, when you start tracking your eating, you realize that you may have thought you were eating well, but like I really wasn't eating very well, honestly. So
I think also when like sometimes if you're not seeing results or something, even though you're eating like clean or like working out, it also may be an indication that there's something underlying going on. So like, yeah, that is good when like that's a good time to reach out to a nutritionist or reach out to your doctor and like find that out, because you're never gonna know like, does gluten actually bother you?
Yeah,
like, does dairy actually bother you?
Which is why you have to cut it.
Having somebody help you through the process of figuring that out.
Yeah. So I said this the other day. I've said it a couple times, but I'm up like 15 or 20 pounds from what my normal baseline, like pre-COVID story of, I feel like most people's lives at this point, to be honest.
Our cortisol was high for
our cortisol was so
3
high.
years.
And then mine was like so high too from just personal stress trauma stuff like last year, and there's just been a lot. So I'm excited to get healthy, but it is a journey. And it's time. So time number 2, and we will get your questions answered from Ashley, and then we'll just kind of go about like, how am I feeling tomorrow? Last time when I did it, it hurt during, and then I was honestly fine after. I was sore after, but it felt like sore from a workout. It wasn't like crazy sore. It wasn't like as sore as I thought I was going to be afterwards. And that's, I think, all I got for now. But we'll get our questions answered, and then I'll take you guys along in the next couple days and weeks, and we will see what this Emsculpt stitch is all about, if it's worth the money, etc., because it's pricey. I am here with Dr. Ashley Gordon, my friend.
Yes.
And the amazing plastic surgeon. Okay, so she's not physically doing the procedure on me herself. She did do my lift to my boobs though, which was incredible, obviously, and this is her place. So you guys give us a little intro to you.
So I'm a board certified plastic surgeon in Austin, Texas, and Courtney and I have been friends for, I don't know, what, 2 or 3 years now? How long has that been?
So 2 years since the boobs.
Since before COVID. She was actually, I think we did her surgery like the day before the shutdown.
I was literally the last one. Like, we had no idea.
We had no idea what was
St. Patrick's Day, and it was like everything.
No office for 6 weeks.
Yeah, crazy.
So, as you guys probably know, she has Kinsley, who is about to be 4? 5. Oh my God, almost 5. So obviously after you have a baby, even when you're someone fit, the hormones cause stretching of the tissue and the muscles to separate. So almost every woman who's had a child does have some form of diastasis recti, and that just allows the abdominal contents to kind of bulge forward. And so she kind of got back on her, you've always been healthy, but like kind of like another kick, and reached out and wanted to know more about Emsculpt. And Emsculpt is a way that we can stimulate the muscles to do a super maximal contraction. So it contracts the muscles even stronger than you could if you were trying your very hardest to contract. So we're treating her abs and her butt. We also can treat arms, hamstrings, quads, calves, pretty much any muscle body part. And with Emsculpt Neo, we see a 30% decrease in fat, and a huge increase in muscle, not only in muscle cells, but in muscle growth, so hyperplasia and hypertrophy. And then about a 14% decrease in diastasis. So it'll be interesting to see if you feel tighter, because obviously she's someone that doesn't have a bulge so much that she needs a tummy tuck. And who knows, maybe she'll have another baby at some point.
I don't know about that. That is not a spoiler.
That's not a spoiler, but we don't know. Maybe, I mean, maybe, right?
Kinsley says all the time. She's like, can I have a baby? I'm like, okay.
Maybe Audrey will have Kinsley's. Okay, that's gonna get cut. Anyway, you know, she doesn't know if she's gonna have another baby, but it's always nice to be nice and tight. So that's what we're doing.
For sure. And I was saying too, because I did like a little intro in the car on the way over here, that it's not about like not wanting to work out or not doing things like that. Sometimes you can work out, you can eat right, and you just have areas that things are still not budgeting, like things are still not moving.
Exactly.
So I feel like,
so for some people, like a lot of women, for example, have trouble like really building their delts and their deltoids and their shoulders, and they really want to get lean and defined, but they have a hard time doing that. So we can put these Emsculpt, there are smaller applicators that we can put on the shoulders to help further define. But obviously, this is something that you should use in conjunction with a healthy lifestyle. My recommendation is always 80-20. So 80% of the time you should be trying to work out, eat healthy, make good choices, and then the other 20% of the time you need to have fun and enjoy your life.
yeah.
But we like to do this in conjunction with working out. The results are going to last basically forever if you continue to go to the gym and to work out these areas.
Yeah, you have to be putting in the work too. It kind of just feels like it gives you like a push.
Yes.
in that direction and hits those muscles and things that you like can't necessarily get at the gym, but then when you go to the gym, from what I understand, you are actually stronger, right? Which is cool.
So we were going to give Court the challenge of doing the ab roller, which I think is probably the hardest ab workout that there is to do. But so I need to do that too. But basically that roller where you roll out, and that's how we really see that you're a lot stronger, because you can go a lot lower and you can do more of them, because that is like all core.
And I feel like too, as women, there's like, I mean, I guess as everyone, but I am a woman, so I can only speak for myself. I feel like there are areas that are just harder to engage in general, like for the first time. Like I've always been good at engaging my butt, but it's a lot harder to engage my lower core.
Right.
So if you strengthen those things, then you probably work them better when you're actually in the gym too. But I have some questions I thought that I'd run by you from our peeps. Okay, so realistically, how many treatments are necessary to see results?
So minimum of 4 treatments, and some patients, just depending on their anatomy, etc., will do up to 6. And it's basically 1 treatment every 5 to 10 days. So pretty much 4 treatments in 4 weeks.
Cool. On average, how much does it cost?
It's $4,000 for the 4 treatments, and then we offer discounts if patients are going to get multiple areas.
Okay. When do you start seeing the results?
So I feel like you'll start seeing the results, or you'll notice that it feels a little bit stronger after the first or the second treatment, but we say final results don't happen until 3 months after the last treatment.
Does it help lose sagging skin after losing weight? So
it does not. So, and I think that's one of the things that's really challenging, and we're lucky that we have so many non-invasive technologies, but the things that we want to sort of attack, or the things that are bothersome to people, I think, are fat, muscle, and skin. And those things, in many cases, need to be attacked from a different technology or a different way. So this one's nice because it will get rid of some fat and it'll help build the muscle, but it really doesn't do anything for the skin. So we have other technologies that help with that, but that's really the last frontier. Skin laxity is really challenging, especially in the lower body.
What is the difference in Emsculpt and CoolSculpting? I actually asked you about this when I texted you at first.
Yeah. So I'm not a fan of CoolSculpting, just because I feel like there are a lot of issues associated with it. But that is a technology that basically freezes the fat. So the pads are put on, and they basically like really chill your skin and freeze the fat cells, and then they undergo what's called apoptosis, which is called cell death, right? And so over time your body flushes that out. The problem with it is, with the CoolSculpting, your fat has to fit within the adapter. So basically it has to kind of squeeze your flank or your muffin top, etc. And so it doesn't really effectively treat the entire area. And then an interesting kind of bad thing that happened, which they learned early on with CoolSculpting, is sometimes the fat cells, when they get too cold, sort of become really angry. And instead of dying, they make more fat cells.
They multiply?
They multiply. And so they get something called
paroxysmal
adipose hyperplasia, and you can Google it and look at these images online, where in the areas where it's been treated, you literally see like it grows out, like a huge mass of fat cells. And it's very hard to treat. It's hard to liposuction because it's very fibrotic and scarred. So I'm just not a fan of that.
So that's a lot more serious. I feel like where it sounds, correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like Emsculpt is like the most intense working out that you can't actually get from the gym. Like you're toning everything, you're tightening everything, you're burning 30% fat, but it's not like so crazy.
No. There's literally there's no risk.
Yeah, there's no risk.
There's no risk. Like the worst thing that would happen is like your muscles don't respond, which I've never seen, and you wouldn't have a result, but certainly nothing is going to get worse. So not a fan of CoolSculpting. My other thing I'll say about fat is it's really hard to cheat the system with fat, because if you take a lot of the fat cells on the outside of the body, but the patient continues on bad lifestyle, bad choices, what's going to happen is all the fat cells on the inside around their organ are going to expand, and that's visceral fat. There is no light work for that, and there's no treatment.
Okay, so you pair this with an active lifestyle, which like obviously we are doing, but I'm super excited to see results. One of my good girlfriends had it, and we were on a walk the other day, and I was like, I'm doing Emsculpt, I'm so excited, and she was like, oh, I had that, I love it, and I'm like, you bitch, like, how did you not tell me, what do you mean? But I've only heard good things. I think it's not going to be like the type of drastic result, like a CoolSculpting, where you're like, all the fat in your body's gone, but again, it, like, you don't have the risk, and it's not this kind of like
because that way you can do like a tummy tuck 360, where like it's a 9 or 8 hour surgery and everything gets sucked in and tight. But I mean, I do think it's something that is very effective and that can work really well when you're ready to, you know, just get on that health kick.
Super, super excited. So we're gonna go on a little journey. My last question is, for me, and this is probably normal, it kind of hurts.
So I've heard from my patients that have had children, you know, that core is weaker at the bottom, and so I think as it's really contracting so tightly, it can feel uncomfortable. So what we usually recommend is you, just like at the gym when the trainer's like, I want you to think about your lats before we do lat pull downs or whatever. Try to think about that muscle and kind of feel where it is and kind of isolate it and start that crunch before it starts pulling you forward.
I actually felt on my abs last time, the left side felt like it was pulling up a lot more. Is that because the left side's weaker?
Maybe.
Isn't that
Did you feel like you carried her one way or the other?
I don't know. She was always moving around, but I'm sure just like I probably do carry her like a lot more now on one side that it's probably caused it to be that way. But I think that's really helpful because for me, when I was almost trying not to think about it. I was like, great, don't think about it, don't think about it, focus on something else. Like whenever I get lip filler, I'm like tapping the ankle, like focus on here, like
vibrating tool.
Yeah. Whereas if you're actually saying like actually focus on it, isolate.
Yeah, and just start to engage it like right before, and it does this thing where it taps, and so you hear this noise. So I think after you have it a few times, you sort of know like what's coming next.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
And then we'll see if your lower back feels stronger, because once your core is stronger, patients, especially women that have children, like after a tummy tuck, once we tighten that diastasis, they definitely have less lower back pain, and their lower back is stronger because they're not relying on the core and kind of splinting.
I'm super excited about that too, because I've always had kind of a weak lower back. I think that being like bigger chested too, I kind of always like, I don't know, like sway back thing going on. So we're very excited, and I think we're gonna do, you said we can do a giveaway, so we might do it on Instagram probably. So head there. I will link my Instagram and Dr. Courtney's Instagram.
Yeah, Restora Austin.
Week 3 of Emsculpt. I never super look forward to the appointments because it's like not the most fun feeling thing, but I'm really, really excited about the results. I think I already said this, but I've had a couple of girlfriends who have done it who have really loved the results, and so I'm very much looking forward to it. So yeah, week 3, got another one to go. But I was talking to Dr. Gordon last week, and we were talking about potentially putting together a giveaway for you guys. So I'm gonna try to iron out the details of that this week. That would be like a huge prize. So I'm super excited. I turned the ab one not up all the way last time. The booty one has been up almost all the way, but the ab one is just painful for me. I think it's the fact that I had a kid, and so it's like that separation of the abs, you know? My arm's getting tired. That separation of the abs, they say makes it more painful than if you have not had a kid yet. But that also makes me a really great candidate for it. So I'm excited about the results, but I am kind of a wimp on the ab one. I just can't do it all the way. I can't do it. Maybe the world's least flattering angle. But basically it's on my abs right now. And they gave me a tip. I have separating from having a baby, and like the ab separation. And so if you crunch up a little bit when the machine is about to go, it helps a lot. Same thing for your butt, you kind of flex, but with this you almost have to crunch your shoulders up. Oh, that's way too low. Okay, I'm gonna have to hold it. I am in the middle of getting ready right now. We are about to hop on some meetings, but I was just telling Audrey that here, you hold it so I can show. Basically, like, so they do the Emsculpt on your butt, or they did for me, obviously, but I can feel it like pulling all the way down through here, but I also am like pretty notoriously tight there, so I just feel like you need to stretch out real good afterwards, you know, hydrate. So yeah, morning of. Just left Emsculpt, another one. Y'all remember when DJ Khaled was like so big? I feel like he was a pioneer on socials back in the day. So I just finished my Emsculpt. I just got out and I did abs and butt today, per usual. It was painful. The abs, I was really proud of myself because I went up and it did not hurt as much. This time, I think I've learned a couple of tips and tricks. So thing one is when you're doing the Emsculpt, go up into almost like a full crunch. Like it can't just be like a little boop. You gotta like fully almost do like a combo between a sit up and a crunch, not an actual sit up, but really get in there with that crunch. And it helps, and it makes a big difference because essentially you're activating your muscles and tightening everything before it comes to bring it all together. So you're working with the machine and it's not as painful. It doesn't just feel like everything's like getting pulled. So that helped a lot on abs. I think I was at like 40 on abs last time percent, and I went up to 60, so that was like a big one. And then I've been doing 90 on the butt, and that one just hurts. But same thing, I just like flex my butt before the machine flexes. And I do have an update on the butt. So I've been swimming like nonstop with Ken since I taught her to swim this year. We've just been like having so much pool time. But I feel like I have a little bit less cellulite on my butt. Like I can tell the muscle toning is working there, and I do feel like I have less cellulite. Sorry, the car is bumpy, so I can't.
Too.
Thanks.
Like I remember seeing you like last week or something, and I was like, you look fit.
Thanks,
which you always look fit, but like it was like noticeable, you know what I mean?
I feel like my stomach is definitely flatter. I have also lost weight because we tracking our food, we're working on the macros, we're trying to be healthy over here. So I have also actually lost weight, but I'm excited to see some toning hopefully eventually in the lower part of my stomach. That's like my more, we won't call it a problem area, it's my area of opportunity. I've kind of always had top abs even when I gain weight, but the bottom is like really the area, and that seems less bloated-ish lately most of the time.
They also say that's like hormonal, which I think is the benefit of working with a nutritionist.
Yeah, to really
like
work on
with that.
Yeah. Like today, she was like, do a no cheese day, which is literally painful for me, but I do think that makes me less bloated. And then, yeah, I just noticed a difference in the cellulite. This is like probably TMI, but literally, you know, when you flex your butt and you can see cellulite, do you ever do that?
Yeah.
I like flex my butt and you can see like a bunch of, everyone has cellulite, obviously it's super normal, but like, I did that the other day and I was like, wait, there's like actually less. So that's the update. It's a major win for me, and it legit makes you stronger, which was nice because when I get in the gym and I work out, I'm like, oh, that squat like felt a little better. Like I do feel stronger, and I do feel stronger on the abs too, which is my biggest thing. So I think like my legs and butt have always been strong, but not my low abs are a little tragic. So yeah, that's the update. Thoughts, kind of like wrapping everything, final thoughts. First of all, I have been sort of on a holistic health journey, just meaning like I have been on a whole ass health journey. I've been working out, I've been working with a nutritionist to work on eating and learning how to nourish my body properly, and things that work for me, things that don't work for me, and doing the Emsculpt. So I think I've gotten really, really good results this month, but it's also been super hard because I threw like all these things in at once. So it's been a lot of newness, but I guess for me, like that's very much my personality type, where I'm just like, I'm gonna go for it and go for it in full. Might as well, rather than, you know, starting with one thing. But it was hard. It is hard to like adjust to all the things at once, especially with all the nutrition. Like it's really, I'm feeling really good and so much better with like my energy and everything. But there was a week when I really worked on like cutting out a lot of sugar and all these other things that I just felt like so shitty, and then I was sore from the Emsculpt, so it's just like a lot at once. But all in all, I definitely think the Emsculpt was worth it. I do feel results, a lot of it actually in my strength, like the physical strength too, like when I'm working out and doing other things, which is nice, rather than like I do think I see some results in the abs visually, but it's also not, we haven't reached the 3-month mark yet where all the results will be showing up. I think she said about like 3 months after. So I think I'll just keep seeing results there. But again, like the diet, not diet like in that way, but diet as in like what I've been eating, I think does make a huge role, have a huge impact on that. But I definitely feel more snatched in the abs. But my probably favorite thing regarding that is that I definitely had some of that tearing from being pregnant and from having a baby. And so I feel like it repaired my abs a lot more, which was nice. So at first I could only go up to like 30 or 40% on the ab machine. It was pretty painful. And then last time I did like 60%. So even that was like already an improvement, and it felt significantly better because my muscles actually got stronger. And then when I'm doing like ab workouts and stuff like that at the gym, I feel like my muscles have gotten stronger in places that I've been working out with the trainer and stuff, so it's not like I wasn't working out, but it was like places where my body, I just like couldn't get down into those places and those muscles. And I think the Emsculpt really helped get down in there basically and repair these sort of like separating of the abs, as well as just like maybe stronger. So I would say that was a win, and my low ab has always been my area of opportunity, we'll call it, so that was good there. And then on the butt, I don't know I haven't noticed a huge difference as far as like, it's not like my butt looks like bigger or anything. I think it actually looks smaller because I've lost a little bit of weight, but I feel like there's like a slightly less cellulite, which I think is kind of interesting because there is like the fat burning component to the Emsculpt. And so I think that's kind of cool because to me that was something that everyone has cellulite obviously, but that was something that like was having a hard time working on my own, just like with diet and stuff. I feel like it was like there anyways. So I think that is probably my rounded thoughts. It was definitely worth it for me. I think if you've had a kid and you feel like you have that ab separating and stuff, absolutely worth it. If I had to pick one area between abs and butt, I would do the abs. Like I think that probably was like a more beneficial area, at least for me. So I'm really excited. I talked to Dr. Ashley Gordon and she's where I went at Restora. That's where I did it. It's also where I got my boobs lifted, FYI, if anyone cares. She's incredible and everyone that works there, like the nurses, the techs, everyone's awesome and they're just like really friendly and they made the whole experience great. And so I talked to her and I was like, look, I had a really positive experience. All in all, like I'm very glad I did it. I would love to be able to gift one of these to one of the women that follows me. Like, is there any way we can do like some type of package like that? And she said yes, which is incredible because I think I mean, it's pretty expensive for the 4 sessions on its own, so it's a huge gift. So I will put her handle below, and all you have to do if you want to enter to be someone that potentially wins the Emsculpt is be following me on Instagram, which is Courtney_Shields, and then following their Instagram, and I will put that info all below. I'll do like a little how to enter the giveaway, and then we'll put everything so you guys can see it. And then comment on this video letting me know that you entered. Obviously, you have to be either in Austin or in like a surrounding area just because you have to go once a week for 4 weeks. So just putting it out there, but I hope you guys are excited. It was like something that was really important to me if we could possibly do it because I wanted you guys to be able to have that as well. So anyways, I hope you guys are excited. I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye.